What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Homie Talk podcast. I'm glad you could all join us today. I am joined here, as always, by JC the Caster. Say hello.
You tell him. You tell him, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I told you to say hello.
Hello. What's going on, guys? It's your boy.
That guy's JC, and I'm
Hi.
Raccoon Eggs. I'm glad you could join us here for another episode of whatever this is.
Anyway, I've had a fantastic day, actually. Life has been pretty grand so far.
I didn't ask.
You? Didn't ask? That's such a dick move. Holy shit. I feel like if we were having coffee, like side by side, I would just splash it in your face after that. Even if it was scalding hot. I hate scalding my tongue. You know, like that little
Delicious.
fucker. No, it's horrible because then you can't like taste anything for like a couple of days, you know? And then of course you have like a birthday party the next day and you can't even taste the cake. That's what pisses me off about that.
Yeah, but getting splashed with hot coffee isn't necessarily a bad thing because you build up a lot of callus and then you can play the guitar with your face. Okay.
I don't even want to imagine that. Oh my god. Holy shit.
So yeah. JC. How are you today?
I'm good. As I said.
What did you do today?
What I do today, I bought some parts for a new PC, getting that on Thursday. So I'll be making my own PC for the first time. I've never built a PC before. Not very tech savvy, so pretty cool. Scheduling TwitchCon, which we should actually talk about, right?
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a good point. We should address that and say for the record that we are going to be going to TwitchCon. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be going with salad, a slightly disappointing salad, mm-hmm. and Asian styles. So if you want to meet any of us, you're welcome to come.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be fun, dude. It's going to be a whole trip. We might even vlog it. I think that would be a great... Or make a podcast in the Airbnb that we're staying at.
For sure. I want to make a vlog. But yeah, if you guys want to come meet us in real life and lose some brain cells, come on down. We'll probably do some fan meetups at TwitchCon.
I'm going to bring Battleship if anyone wants to fight me in Battleship. I guarantee you will lose. Okay, I will sink your ship. Okay, there will be a little booth outside of TwitchCon in which you can get your ass handed to you on a silver platter from me in Battleship. Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to say. I'm done with the podcast. Sign out my papers. I'm good. I'm done. That's all I wanted to say. Battleship is where I draw the line. That's
we'll
it.
also be selling lemonade.
Oh, man. Lemonade.
JC.
Mm-hmm.
Before you start going down the lemonade rabbit hole. Yeah. Don't go down the lemonade rabbit hole, okay?
I love that rabbit hole. There's lemonade at the bottom of it. You have voice cracks? Let's talk about that. When did you mature, by the way? I always thought Santa Claus was real. I still do. I know he's real, you know? Like, every single Christmas, every single time December rolls around, I feel it bubbling inside me, the Christmas spirit.
I've seen him at the mall.
I've seen him at the mall, too. I don't know if that's the real one, but I definitely know that he is real. You know, it is a sure. It's like like Rack, when you run your hand through like carpet or like something like that has like traction to it, and you get shudders all over your body. Yeah, you know that feeling.
I think that's called a static shock, homie.
No, not a static shock. Like rubbing your hand on. I can't explain it to you. The point is, it's like it's a shudder. You know, you feel it. Santa Claus is real. I have to say it. I also believe in the Easter Bunny. More so not him. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I know for a fact Santa Claus is real.
Well, yeah. Even if he's not like real.
What'd you say?
If you're
what?
If you're listening to this podcast and you think that Santa is real, you're not wrong. He is real. He is an idea. He's a concept. He is a beacon of hope.
He's
for
also
all the children
man.
That want gifts.
And also
he's also a man.
Yes, he is real. Fully.
Old Nicky boy.
Yeah. I wonder how we could travel so fast, you know? I like how we're talking about this in the middle of April.
Okay. Well, how about something more relevant to the time period we're in? It's sure. April. It's about to be Easter. It's going to be Easter tomorrow, actually. Actually, for you, it's already Easter because it's past midnight for you.
Oh, shit. Nice. Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
I'm in Easter right now, bro.
For me, it's still 420, but for you, it's Easter. So, what is your experience with the Easter Bunny? How do you cope with the idea of a giant pedophile bunny leaving you eggs?
I don't know, dude. I watched Donnie Darko. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie.
I haven't seen that.
It kind of ruined my depictions of, giant bunnies. I did not like. Also, there was a movie with the same style, the animation style of like a Chicken Run. You know what? You know that animation style?
Oh yeah.
With the it's like clayish. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like a giant rabbit is like born, and like it's like a werewolf. Like each time he sees the moon or something, he turns into a giant rabbit and like eats everything. That scared the shit out of me as a child. I don't know the movie. I just remember it scared me a lot. So the Easter Bunny wasn't the number one thing that my family celebrated, I guess. Or well, they celebrated definitely with like going to church and such. But like in terms of like leaving little Easter eggs around the house, sometimes when I was younger. But as I grew older, it was more just Christmas and that's it.
Yeah, the only memory I have of ever interacting with the Easter Bunny or celebrating Easter was at my school, like, I want to say like 6th, 7th grade. I remember our teachers, they hid a bunch of eggs like around the park, and they sent all the kids out to go look for them. And they made it so like half of the eggs had candy and half of them were just eggs. And I found like 2 or 3, and like one of them had chocolate and the other 2 just had yolks. And I was like, this is the most sick, twisted thing they could have done. Why didn't they just fill all the eggs with candy? Damn. I never liked those teachers.
Dude, for some reason that reminded me of one thing. What is, first, second, and third grade? What is before that? Preschool?
Before second grade is first. Before first is kindergarten. Before kindergarten is preschool.
Okay. Kindergarten. Okay, that's the one. All right. So I was in kindergarten, right? And Chinese New Year's. You know that holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a little celebration in the classroom for this holiday, and I was not allowed to go for some unknown reason. I don't know what I did at that age to not allow me to go into that room. It was pretty diabolical, though. I bet it was something bad because they would not allow me to set foot into that room for the Chinese holiday, extravaganza. There was a party. And I got so mad, I started crying. I started crying really loud, right? And the teacher had to come, and like I was in the other room. It's surprising how I remember all of this. I was so pissed off. Like, I just wanted some food, I don't even know what the holiday is about. I just wanted food. Or like some kind of like, I just want to be with my friends. I don't know. This just reminded me of, I was screaming, dude. I was so mad. I was about to turn into the Hulk, slamming desks, throwing shit over, I was a wild child.
I was a wild child.
The teacher came in and I just flipped her as well. It was so bad, dude. I couldn't get any food. I still couldn't. The moment I left that classroom, it was just a mess. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was restrained a couple of times in preschool. I would freak out because they didn't give me the right kind of Cheez-Its.
You were restrained. You were restrained because of that?
I was held down by the teacher. And looking back, it was a little bit of a disproportionate reaction on her part. But in all fairness, they were giving me pizza Cheez-Its when I wanted original ones. I had every right.
No, you did not.
Well,
how did you get a fucking...
Casey, you got to understand, this is when I was like 4.
Oh my god. What did you do? What kind of mess were you?
So just imagine like a 4-year-old getting served a napkin of Cheez-Its and then just like sweeping it off of the table, screaming tomato red face with fucking volleyball arms, and then just like falling out of their chair on their back and doing a bicycle motion.
You were that kind of kid?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
that reminds
not
me,
for long though. Just when I was really little.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you one of the worst moments in my career as becoming a
human.
As a human, it was one of the worst. So basically, back where I lived, right, originally. So I was working at this water park, right, and I've been working there for like a couple weeks. It's very nice. I'm in charge of the game section of this place. So that's what I signed up for. I was like, hey, I'm good with people. I'm good with advertising some things. Like, hey, come over here, play this game. It's totally not a rigged thing. I was just into it. So I was like, let me do that. So a couple weeks into this job, it's good. There's like sections of where you get split up for each day. So like there's one where you have to shoot the water into the little hole and you get a plushie, that. Also the basketball one where you try to get 3 hoops and you get a plushie, you know what I mean? It was like that. It was fun. And there was one where you have darts, right? And the darts are sharp, okay? The balloons, you have to pop the balloons with the darts, right? I'm trying to do this in layman's terms. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible because that winded me laughing so hard. So basically I had to take care of the balloon section, right? So for the remainder of the day, which was like a couple hours, it was hot. It was like 80 degrees. I have my uniform on. And I'm just sitting, not sitting because they didn't allow us to sit. I was just standing right in front of the darts station, right? And there's a lot of balloons behind me, right? They're popped in there. And what you're supposed to do is throw the dart, obviously, and you want to pop a balloon and you get a plushie. You get like 3 or something. So I'm just, it's a relatively slow day, right? So there's people coming by. They're really not, going into the game section. I see other people, like, because on the right of me, I could still see the game section on the, like, far right. So I see, like, some people getting some, like, attention to the attractions over there, but nothing with me. So I'm like, okay, it's an easy day. I could just do whatever. My managers walk around, right? They walk around the park, just making sure everyone's doing their thing. And I remember one of my managers came over. She's like, hey, if there's no one going there, if no one's like coming over to your thing, why don't you take one of the darts and you throw it and, just entice it, like, oh, I could do it. You can do it too. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds fine. I'm not a bad thrower. I could throw. And, I can throw. And basically I go and I'm throwing a couple darts and popping a couple balloons. I entice a couple people like, hey, come over here and play some games. I actually remember no one came over when I was doing that. But, basically, I was just throwing darts, looking all cool, I just pop one. Hey, look at me, And towards one of the last times I throw the dart. By the way, remember how I said on the right, you can see the games over there. There's a path leading uphill a little bit. It's not that far away, right? And on the left of me is a food station, like you get burgers and such, and there's a large line for it, right? And they're relatively close. The only thing that's separating us is a wooden fence. Right? Or wooden poles stuck into the ground with a fence, like a rope fence, you know what I mean? And I'm doing my thing, as I say, and I'm about to throw this very sharp dart. And as I throw, I bring back, and I have control of my arm, contrary to popular belief. And I'm about to throw it, and I see a gigantic bee right next, like this guy,
shit.
Huge, and I'm about to throw it. And I let go and I twist my wrist because I'm trying to dodge the bee. And the dart goes in the direction of the food stand. And keep in mind, to pop these balloons, you gotta throw it hard, You gotta throw it really, really hard. And these are sharp. So if it hits someone, and I feel bad because it depends on where I hit them, dude. But in retro, I feel kind of bad because the first thing that went through my mind is like, oh fuck, I'm gonna lose my job. Like I didn't even care. I didn't care. But the first thing that emerged, like when that dart went loose, was like, oh, well, there goes my my job offers for the next couple months. I have to change my name now and everything. So the dart is flying through the air like Mach 16. Okay, like this is code red. It's like that SpongeBob gif where all the like SpongeBob is like taking all the papers and burning them in his mind. Like it was like that for me. It's crazy. It was horrible. And the dart is flying, and remember the wooden pole, the wooden fence that I talked about?
Yeah.
It missed. Like there was somebody with his legs, like he was in the line. It missed him by like this. Like you can't see. It was very close, and the dart sunk into the wood, sunk into it, bro. Like
right next to him. How close?
2 feet away, 3 feet away, and it would have hit him if yeah. And he looks like the person heard the thud. And he turns around, and he sees the dart, and he sees me. And he sees the dart, and he sees me. He looks at me, he says, that would have been bad, wouldn't it be? He's like, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that would have been bad. And he just turns around and goes back to what he was doing, waiting in line.
Jesus.
Needless to say,
did you tell him like it was a bee, or were you just like, fuck it, whatever, I'll just leave him to assume that I tried to kill him?
I didn't tell him anything. I was like, yeah, that would have been bad. Huh. And I started throwing them rapid fire. No, but that freaked me out. I was like, okay, I'm done with the darts. I'm going to put this down. I'm not going to touch it again. Because this, I can't, the bee, I don't know where it went actually. I think it was a figment of my imagination. I think something made me do it. Like, made me almost hurt it. Because it would have, if it went through, if like the fence wasn't there, it would have went through his leg.
So in your mind, like, your like immediate train of thought was, I'll just throw it at the human because the human can't sting me.
Yeah, I guess that was my, I don't know, dude. Thinking back, it was foggy. It was fine. I just remember afterwards, I put down the dart. Like, I went and got the dart out of the wood. It sunk in like hard. I mean, given the fence is a little bit like, it's a little bit soft, the wood, but it sank in deep, dude. It would have hurt someone, you know? I picked it up, put it back, and I just stayed. I just stayed where I was. I was like, hopefully no one saw that. You know, I'm not going to get in trouble. No one saw it. I was fine, but, you know, I remember it. And for some reason, you screaming about Cheez-Its reminded me of that. So thank you.
Well then.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
no
I almost
problem,
killed someone
guess.
in my job, dude. Almost killed someone. Definitely.
Jeez.
Because if that hit his leg, it popped an artery or something, popped a vital organ, boom, I would have lost my job.
Would you have won a prize?
I mean, I would have to steal one when I'm running out, being chased by all the security guards, I guess. I don't know, dude. Any crazy stories on your part? Almost killing someone?
Almost killing someone? Oh, I don't know about that. I do have one story, but before I tell it, I want to ask you something.
Oh, question time. I'm all ears.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts? That is a loaded question.
Whatever your interpretation of a ghost is.
Yeah, definitely. I say it as like there's way too many, way too much evidence and way too many. Hey, I saw the sightings and reports of ghosts.
Way too many supernatural experiences for it to be chalked up to human error, right?
Not even human error, but human hoaxes, human blah, 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 blah. You know, like there has to be correlation between all of those. It can't just be all just, you know, for hoaxes or for attention, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there has to be there's no way in the thousands, the probability of that is insane. Yeah, I think there's ghosts, definitely. And like, that's what I believe, yeah, for sure. Do you believe in ghosts?
I used to not, and then I had something happen to me that made me believe in ghosts. It was, I'm trying to remember, I would say I was like 15 or 16 when this happened.
Oh no.
And so I had these friends that lived on like an island out in like the middle of nowhere, basically. And when it got dark out, it was, let me explain exactly what it looked like where they lived. Okay. You would have a house on a plot of land that was like several acres, just fields and fields of grass, and then like a bunch of trees out in the distance on the horizon. And there'd be like lakes and rivers. It was really beautiful. It was like basically like almost untouched wilderness, and it was like hours out of the city to get to this place. And when it got dark out, it was very, very creepy, very silent. You'd hear a lot of crickets. There was a lot of like coyote sightings down here. I mean, that's not the scary part, but point is like you didn't want to go out in the night, you know, because it was so like wild and untouched. So me and these two friends, we like to smoke weed a lot, and we'd like to look for spots on the island to smoke weed. And one day we settled at this one barn that was on this road about like a mile or two away from my buddy's house. Like if you just walked straight on the road, you would get to this barn that it looked abandoned, or at the very least it looked as if nobody even used it. Like it was completely untouched, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's like cobwebs and shit. Like if it was actually not abandoned, then whoever's it was wasn't taking care of it. And we observed the condition of this barn as a sign that it was abandoned and that it would be fine to just go in and like explore, right? So we go into this barn and there's a tractor. The tractor also looks completely untouched. And so we're like, hey, let's go up into the tractor and let's hotbox the tractor. So we climb up the ladder on the side, we get in, and we did this, I would say like 3 or 4 times. And on the 4th time that we went to this tractor, I remember very clearly, we were up there, we were smoking, we were hotboxing the tractor for a good like 10, 20 minutes. And we started to hear like this creaking that it sounded like a toss-up between like some kind of floorboard like waving in the wind or like a voice groaning. It sounded like a combination of both. You know, it's like a
Bro, I'm
like
I'm like alone in my room. It's completely dark. It's like 1 a.m., dog. Please.
Okay.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. I won't give you the the auditory example, but you get the idea, right?
Yeah.
So we started to hear this, and you know we.
Fuck! Oh my god!
What?
Holy shit! My heart, dude. My monitor shut off, and it just went dark.
Oh.
Completely dark in my room. Holy! Are you kidding me?
Dude.
Timing, bro. I'm putting on the light. Hold on.
Just okay. Yeah. Turn on the light.
Holy fuck!
I'm not trying to freak you out, man.
Oh no! My mic.
The supernatural, dude. Just talking about it, it's like the ghost is back. It
let's talk about
the
fucking. Let's talk about something else then. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Turn on the light.
What? No. Let me turn on the light. 1 second.
If it makes you feel better, I didn't die.
That was stupid.
Okay.
Fuck.
So we're in the tractor. We start to hear this noise, and the first thing we do is we look at each other, and we're like, was that you, bro? Because, like, you know, instinctively the first thing we think is like, oh, it's just like one of us is fucking with the other, right? And we all look at each other, and it was none of us, and it keeps going. We keep hearing it, like every, 15, 20 seconds, like, very frequently. And we start to get, yeah, and we start to get really fucking freaked out, because we don't know what this is. We've been here about 2 or 3 times, and we haven't heard anything like that before. So it's like, what's going on? There's no trees around this barn house. It's like, it's pretty secluded. Like, it's the closest house is like an acre away or something. There's trees, but they're really far away. So there's no way it could be anything like waving in the wind and rubbing up against the barn. And we don't think it's like a floorboard waving in the wind or like some kind of loose piece of wood, because like nothing like that has happened before. And we've been there when it's been really windy. We've taken a windy walk there, and we've gotten there and it's been completely silent. So we're like shitting ourselves, and we're like, what is this sound? Is somebody trying to come in? Is there something there? Is there a spirit there? And it goes on for like 2 or 3 minutes, and mind you, we're all high as fuck too, because we've been smoking in here for about 20 minutes. And so after we hear this shit for like I can't even remember, because like time like grinds to a halt. Like I would say it was maybe 5 minutes, but it could have been like 2 or 10 or I don't fucking know. But I would say 5 minutes go by, and we look at each other like, okay, we should probably get out of here. Like, we're all like really freaked out. We don't know what the fuck the sound is, and so we just decide to dip. We crawl down the ladder. We climb out of the hole in the side of the barn house that we entered through, and we walk back to my buddy's house in the dark. We go back the next day, and the hole that we went in.
Why?
What?
Why? Why would you do that?
Why would we go back?
Yeah, I would just, dude, if I saw a fucking, like, if I thought a ghost was in an area, I'd be like, hey, bro, this is your turf. I ain't going anywhere near it, you know? Like, hey, rest in place, you know, rest easy, dog. Peace out.
We wanted to go back when it was, like, light out, because we wanted to, like, look and see what could have been causing the sound, because this happened in the complete darkness, so we wanted to go, like, figure out what it was, I guess.
Uh-huh.
That was like our justification. And also, we wanted to just go back and smoke, and we liked that spot, other than the fucking creepy noises. Like, there was definitely some kind of a sinister vibe, but I just chalked it up to, like, weed anxiety. So, we go back the next day, and I shit you not, the hole that we entered the barn house through is boarded up.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. That's like those, like, scary stories to tell in the dark. You know, those childhood books? Nah, bro.
Yeah, no, this actually happened. So, I mean, it's ridiculous to say like a ghost fucking nailed it up. Obviously, what it probably is that it wasn't abandoned, and whoever owned it went and boarded it up because they figured out we were there. But just the whole like atmosphere and the way that it unfolded, it was really creepy, and the fact that it was boarded up when we got there in the morning, and it seemed as if it was abandoned. So whoever's it was like not taking care of it at all. They were like depraved in some way.
What would lead them to leave the barn like that?
I don't fucking know.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part is like they left the barn like that because maybe they didn't want to go in either because there was something sinister about it. So,
bro.
And that was the last time we ever went back there. We would walk by it occasionally.
That was the last time I saw my friend.
and then they got dragged in by an invisible hand.
Jesus, bro. I don't like that stuff, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, but don't worry because we never went back there. The only times that we ever like saw it again was when we were walking past it to like go to a corner store or something like up further down the road. But we never dared to like try to find another way in there because we were still like really fucking freaked out by that one night and the fact that it had been boarded up the next day and it seemed as if it was abandoned. So yeah, that's
creepy, dude.
That's the polar opposite to your story, if you will. That's just really fucking freaky, but it's...
I mean, it's not totally polar opposite, dude. If I didn't, like, control myself and I didn't get good guidance on both of my stories, dude, people would have died and people would have turned into ghosts.
Yeah,
you know?
It's possible.
You never know.
But, yeah, the moral of that, or, like, the thing to take away from that is that I do think that there is such thing as, like... It's happened to everybody. You walk to a certain place, you go to a certain somewhere, and you get a vibe as if sinister things have happened in that place that you're standing. And I feel like that is enough evidence for me that there is something supernatural that humans cannot quite see. There is such thing as ghosts and spirits that can make you feel things without you even realizing what it is that's causing it.
There's
somebody died in that barn, homie.
Dude, why'd you gotta say that? We all knew it. We all felt it, bro. But why'd you gotta, leave words to that? God damn it. Now I'm fucking spooked. Good thing I don't live in a barn.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like, that's... Why else would somebody be so scared to fucking take care of their barn? Why else would we hear that sound? We inspected it from... After we saw the hole boarded up, we walked around at 360 degrees and like we didn't find anything. We didn't find any like loose like boards or anything that would have like caused a fucking sound like that. And I told you it didn't sound like that at all. It sounded like it could have been like a voice or something, like a toss up between a creaking of a board and a voice.
Nah, bro, nah. God damn it, dude. I mean, maybe that might be reaching a little bit if you look at like the perspective of the owner. Like maybe he just doesn't want to take care of it and he doesn't want people coming in.
Maybe it's reaching
something with it.
Yeah. For all I know, it could just not be any of those things I said, and it could just be that the way we interpret it was really scary, and that there's actually nothing sinister. But that's the thing about ghosts is that you can chalk it up. The people that don't believe in ghosts chalk it up to like humanity, like human error. An amassing of human error over time, over all the years of history. There is some kind of a flawed understanding of what ghosts really are and if they exist.
Yeah. And you could definitely, you could fill in the gaps if you think about it enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure there is a logical explanation.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like people, like scientists, would have like done research on like how do you get those like cold feelings, like something bad is here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that like there would be reasons for that, but at the same time, I fully understand what you mean, and I think it's more so on the thing that you have to experience it to fully believe it, you know. Like only when you experience something like that, what you just talked about, would you believe in those kind of events, you know?
Yeah. That shit is stuck with me.
That shit now is stuck with me because I'm about to go to sleep after this, and I'm gonna be thinking about ghosts and shit. And the word, like, I can't deal with scary stuff, dude. Okay, I'll watch some memes. I don't know, dude.
I don't know. Do something to take your mind off of it.
I can't go when I go and watch scary shit. The thing about that, because I to be honest, I can't handle scary stuff. I don't like it. You know, I rather feel. I like the interesting part about it. You know, that's why I like talking about it, or that's why I like having a little bit of a thought session about it. Like, what is this? You know, how does this work with this, and so on and so forth. The issue with it, though, when I think of something scary, all the scary things or all the things that scared me throughout my life just pop up. You know, it's like opening up a folder on a computer and you just see a bunch of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the moment that I think about ghosts, like starts thinking about scary stuff like the deep web or the dark web, and then also like hauntings and so on and so. You know, like there's a whole catalog of fucked up shit that my brain has absorbed. And the moment I think about ghosts, you know, it's just a torrent of images and thoughts. And because
the world is a fucked up place.
Indeed, it is. I'm gonna be real with you, dude. I've had occurrences. I've had things that have happened to me
similar experiences.
Not in the story way, but in the way that it executed and the conclusion of it, basically. So it ain't fun. And someone sent me like a picture of like, hey, we just took a picture of a ghost in my mom's like house or something, and I saw it on Snapchat. And I look at it, and it's literally like it looks horrible. It looks like one of the worst images. I would like shit myself. I would leave the house if I saw it. It's like a hand and a face like crawling out from the top of a doorway.
Jesus,
and it looked completely real. Like that's the kind of shit that comes into my mind when I hear about that shit. You know? Fucking hell. But I do believe that that kind of stuff is there. You know?
Yeah. It's why, like you said, you have to experience it to believe it.
Oh yeah. And that's why, you know, just let them have their space. You know what I mean? You know, I would not intrude on a ghost's place.
Yeah, that's how I feel is like, you know, if you can coexist with the ghosts, you know, don't fuck with the ghosts. You know, I feel like they don't really have a reason, unless they are sinister in nature, to commit some kind of unprovoked crime against you.
Well, there are ways to, quote unquote, heal yourself from that. You know what I mean?
Well,
like if it's truly after you. But yeah, I would just say if you encounter something that made like you feel like you're stepping on your own grave, that kind of feeling. Yeah, best to leave the area as soon as possible.
Here's the thing: is I've felt that in my old house too. The house that I had to evacuate because of mold and because there was a fire there that was never cleaned up properly. I've gotten that same feeling there. And I'm sorry if I bring up the house with the mold too much, but it does tie into what we're talking about. The whole like energy of the place is as if there was something bad that happened there before, and you can like feel it. Like even beyond just, well, obviously I just said there was a fire there, so you could argue that's what it is, but that wouldn't necessarily like. I don't know if there was a casualty from the fire of a human life there.
Oh my God.
That's the thing. I've thought about that, but I don't know if that's it. There was a fire there, but I haven't heard anything like that. And my
conversation.
My neighbor told me there was a fire there, he didn't make any mention of like, oh, yeah, there was ambulances. A guy totally died in there, bro. You know, it wasn't anything like that.
It's not going to tell you that though.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not even the feeling like there's a spirit. Well, I feel like if he goes to the trouble of telling me there's a fire there, he would say like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like a weird detail to admit, right?
He would probably just omit that from he would say like, hey, there's just a fire.
You think?
It was cleaned up. Yeah, because he doesn't want to.
like
he
scare
doesn't
me.
want to tell someone that. Yeah, he doesn't want to scare you because then you would want to leave. You know.
Well, but the whole way he presented it was that he didn't give a shit if I was scared by it. So I feel like he would have said if that did happen. But the point is, right, is I don't think it's anything like a spirit is there from a death. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's more of just the energy of like something bad has happened there before. And I do have something to back that up. When I was doing research and going back and looking at my house on satellite view and looking at the fire, I also went back and looked at the previous owners of the house. The fire happened in 2011. It was sold that same year after the fire. Before it was sold, it was owned by a guy who bought it in 2005. Now, his full name is listed on the sale. And if you look up his name on a criminal record tracker.
Nah, bro, come on. Nah, I don't like this conversation, bro.
What?
Nah.
This is what I really did, and this is the truth, man.
What did it say? Bro, the window's fucking open, and I hear like the wind wow. Fuck, dude.
Dude. Okay, I'm not.
I don't want to close the door. It's literally woods out there, bro.
Hey, JC, listen.
Bro, I'm gonna get my gun.
I don't. Look, buddy, I don't want to freak you out. Close your window. Do what you have to do. I'm just telling it how it is. All right. So.
Okay, tell me what you found.
Okay.
The criminal shit.
When I did a criminal record, it's nothing like that heinous. You might be underwhelmed.
double murder suicide.
Yeah, no. If you were expecting that, that's not what it is. But I did a criminal background check, and I found that he had like 7 DUIs and like 3 ongoing lawsuits against credit unions and a single criminal charge for arson. It was before 2011. It was actually in 1998, believe it or not. Long time ago. So it's possible that he lit that house on fire on purpose to commit insurance fraud, and they never caught him. And that could be the source of the energy that I'm picking up on in that house.
Well, I mean, it does deflate some of the wind out of the horror sails, if you will. The bad energy is just some guy that tried to commit insurance fraud. So it's definitely not.
Yeah,
like
but it's still you understand though that 7 DUIs. Did I say 6? I don't know what I said. It was something, yeah, like 6 or 7 DUIs, and I feel like that
drinking while, yeah, but
drinking while driving, but that makes you a horrible fucking person if you do that 7 times. You have to understand the level of human depravity it takes to get 7 DUIs. The complete disregard for human life that must lead to that kind of a criminal record is something you can't ignore when taking into account the fucking awful energy of that house. That is probably what I'm picking up on, is that guy's like psychopathic nature. Beyond just like, taking the wind out of it because it's just insurance fraud. This dude literally gets drunk and then goes around and drives and has no fucking regard for human life. 7 times, dude. 7 times.
I don't like this story. I mean, honest, like with
you want to talk about the Teletubbies? I mean, like, how do I diffuse this?
No, the damage has already been done. No. I mean, jokes aside, I feel that as well. Like I could understand like that whole bad energy stuff outside of just like ghosts and like remnants of someone's past deeds. Like you could feel the energy in the air. You could feel it when you step into a certain room.
Exactly. It's like it's worse in some rooms than other rooms, bro. I swear.
Yeah, I don't know. That's some freaky shit though.
Yeah.
Like if I had to like defend someone when I was scared, I would definitely do that. Like I would push my fear aside, but like just sitting in an empty room, the only light, your computer screen, talking about this kind of shit, bro, it ain't too peachy.
I can imagine. To give you an idea of where I'm at right now, I'm in an Airbnb because I left that house while I am waiting for my lease to begin on my other one. So I'm in an Airbnb, and there's all my lights are on. The lights are actually like there's not a lot of lights in this house, so it's not like very bright where I'm sitting right now, but right behind my monitor is a window that's completely black with the blinds fully drawn, so I can see right out of it onto the street. But it doesn't creep me out that much because it's a nice, like, low crime neighborhood, I guess. But I guess I can kind of relate, like, if it was the same thing as you, but I look out the window and I see, instead of like nice houses, I see a fucking field and dark woods. Yeah, I probably would be a little bit freaked out.
It ain't fun, bro. It ain't fun. You know, like I don't know if some demon could grab my asshole and just drag me out of my room. You know, I don't like this.
Right.
You know, I don't like the feeling of it. I don't know, bro. I heard that's why I drink specifically only holy water. Did I tell you that?
I drink only holy your stomach.
I don't know, bro. I ain't about to die today. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling.
Have you had any, like, I mean, you told me you felt that energy before, but have you had any, like, discreetly supernatural experiences?
I would talk about them. The issue is I would not be able to sleep, dude. It was that bad. Like, I would not.
Jesus Christ. All right. I won't push that.
I don't know about that one, Chief. But, like, the energy, I mean, it happens sometimes where you just walk into a room and you're like, this don't feel right, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't have that energy that is good, you know? I'm just gonna
exactly.
walk out.
When I walk into, like, the like a certain room in that house and I get that, like, even worse energy than the rest of the house, and I'm like, oh fuck, is this where he got drunk, or, you know, something like, or is this where he
did something even worse?
Is this where he rented his hookers? Like, I don't know what happened in that house.
I'll tell you one thing though. I'll tell you one instance of just these moments where I was like, this is not right. A while ago in high school, I was invited to a lockdown. If anyone doesn't know what a lockdown is, it's basically you just stay indoors of a certain area, right?
Wait, invited?
And yeah, it's like just a fun little shit. We went to a church. We did a lockdown in a church.
Wait, like a legit lockdown or like a drill?
No, like not like a school. Like, this is for fun, you know, like a bunch of friends, and like we just
a lockdown.
Yeah, it's basically what you do is you bar up you can't get outside. You can't go outside at all, right? You're supposed to stay inside the area that you're staying in until like daytime or something, right?
Okay.
So it's called a lockdown. And we decided to do it at a church. This was planned. Like, I think the parents were also in on it, and like they stayed over as well. But a bunch of people were invited. It was fun. You know, it was really fun. We did a lot of tag. We had fun. It was like it was a church that I was not familiar with. It was semi-big. You know, it was definitely a spacious area. But we were having fun, you know, just having a good time, playing tag, playing little games in the big area outside of the main, like the pews and the praying stations and whatnot. But eventually, and you sleep at the church, dude. You sleep at the church. So it's like a full-on lockdown until daytime. And we're all just chilling and having a good time, and night, you know, comes, and we're all sitting in the pews, right? We're all just chilling. And like we have like the altar, and we have like the seat where the priest is, yeah? And like we're all just taking turns going up to the altar and telling stories, right? And I remember we were just telling funny stories and laughing, and it's about time to go to sleep, you know, so people are getting in there. And the boys were in the one room, and the girls were in the other room, and so on and so forth with that. But when it was my turn to go up, I decided to tell a scary story because, you know, I like telling that kind of stuff. It fit the mood. Yeah, we were in a church. It's dark. You know, it ain't it. And I decided to talk about Smile Dog. It's a creepypasta. If you may have heard of it before. It's
I thought you meant a legit scary story.
No, it gets worse. So it's a creepypasta. It's not real, but it's about an image that is quite disturbing. And
I think
people
I've
were
seen
a little bit. Yeah,
Sounds
it's
familiar.
not fun. It's not fun at all.
Don't look it up.
Do not look up Smile Dog picture. It is not fun to look at. I mean, it's not that bad. That bad. It's not like a good time, bro. I wouldn't just like, hey, you know what's going on in this part of the internet. No, but I told this group of like 25, 30 people about Smile Dog while I'm just standing up at this altar. And obviously it was embellished and people were like laughing it off, like, it's just a scary story. People go to sleep. All right. It's almost 2 a.m. and there's 3 people awake. And they're in the very back of the pews. There's separate rooms for the church. So it is completely dark. And also, by the way, I forgot to mention this. People thought someone was trying to get into the church like at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Yeah, people, we saw a car outside and we heard banging on the door.
What in the fuck?
Like a back hall. Yeah, no, dude. We freaked out. The adults, they didn't go out. They just locked it, even like just make sure everything's locked. And just made sure everything's okay.
You're freaking me out now. Holy shit.
Yeah, no, that's what happened. And it's a long corridor to the back hall, dude. Like, it was scary, and we were going to actually go there. And the reason I actually wanted to talk about the creepypasta was because everyone was already freaked out. So call me an asshole, but I thought it would be clever. But it ended up backfiring. But like it was dead of night at that time, like 9 p.m. Like, I think that's when 9 or 10 p.m. is when we heard the banging a little bit on the back door.
And what did it end up being, actually, the sound?
It was just it wasn't a ghost, I'll tell you that. We all knew it was a person because we saw like car outside. Like, this is not like some unpopulated place. This is like a semi-populated place.
Somebody
like
was trying to get into the church?
Yeah. We don't know who it was. I think they just went back into their car and just drove away, but it was weird. It just put us on edge, right?
Yeah, so that is weird. Okay.
Yeah, it was not fun. So basically what happens after that, I told the little Smile Dog thing just to get everyone like, scary. Everyone splits up into their groups and goes to their separate rooms because, again, boys and girls, different rooms, right? So the church is it's completely open now, right? It's dark. It's fully dark. We're not allowed to put on lights, right? And the entire church is we can do whatever we want. We could stay up. Like, at the start of this, we were like, dude, I'm going to stay up the entire night. And we're like, dude, you're no way you're staying up this entire night. Or let's all stay up together and tell stories. No one did that except for me and 3 other people. And we were sitting in the back of the pews. This entire church, just a giant church, dude. It's completely pitch black.
Just and the only pitch black, dead silent.
It's exactly like that, yeah. And I didn't know they were awake. I walk over and they're like, dude, was that story real? And I was like, I tried to, give them some more reasoning to it, and I was just more of like a copypasta or creepypasta, excuse me. And the only light that was coming in that we could actually talk, and he saw my face. And there was a girl, a guy, and I think another girl. I don't remember. I just remember there was the 2 people that I was initially talking to, because they're like the highlight of this conversation. Like, they're the people I'm actually talking to. The only light coming in that I'm actually able to see them is from like the stained glass from like a lamppost outside. And it is the creepiest shit that I've ever been in. And we're talking a little bit more about scary stuff. And they decide I'm gonna go to sleep. And I'm like, all right, you guys have a good night. And they go off and they tiptoe to their room, right? And they have to go like fully, like it's not a small church. That's what I'm saying. They have to walk there. And I'm just left alone in this fucking church, right? And I walked up to near the altar, right? And I'm just looking I'm looking around, and I hear like some, what is it called? I hear like something drop, right? Like a pen or a pencil or something on the right. No. On the right of the pew. No. And dude, immediately, like every hair on my arm just went up. I had the worst feeling, like something's incredibly wrong. And I stood still. I couldn't even move. Cause like, it was like something's wrong. Like you have to move. And I didn't know what to do. Like, cause I was just frozen, not in fear, but in shock. Cause again, I think my nerves were shot. I don't know what happened, dude. It just felt really wrong. I finally, when I get to my senses, I walk to the left to get out of like the pews and the altar and all that stuff, and I'm in the kitchen, and it's an even bigger door. And if you turn around and you go completely like down that road, you go back down to the locked room where the person was banging on the door earlier, and we didn't know who it was. Right? So I'm just chilling in the kitchen. It's like at this point it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and it is, and I kid you not, it is one of the worst nights of my life because I'm freaking out a little bit, like the stories I've told. And once again, this is still me. So when I think of something scary, when I'm alone, you know what I mean? Like everything that I'm scared of comes back to me. I wasn't scared of Smile Dog. I wasn't scared of anything like that. But the emotion that I didn't know what made that noise. I was just assuming something fell or something. But like my nerves are shot, dude. I'm in fight or flight mode.
Yeah, because at this point everybody is asleep and you hear something fall over. So it's like, what the fuck could have done that, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm having bad vibes about this. And I'm in the kitchen, and again, I'm going through like all this stuff that is scaring me. I nod off, dude. I fall asleep. Guess where I wake up?
Where?
Bro, I wake up on the chair for the priest in the room. I'm not even joking. I'm dead ass with you, bro. I wake up. I remember. I don't even remember. I remember specifically waking up and my eyes slowly opened, and I woke up in the fucking seat, like the seat overlooking the entire pews.
Dude, I can't even fall asleep sitting down. Wait, where did you fall asleep again? I
was lying down in the kitchen. I remember nodding off, and I was like, I lied down on the kitchen. That's like the last thing I remember. And weird. I woke up in a different room.
Do you sleepwalk?
Huh? I've done that like 2 or 3 times when I was a kid, but nothing like this. Nothing like by myself. Yeah. Well, actually, by yourself when you're sleeping, yeah. But like nothing like this. This felt even worse because it was the circumstances of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I woke up on the seat where the priest sits, at the center of the church, right? And it's like it's daytime now though. I see the sun streaming through the windows and such. And I remember hearing people rustling, like starting to get up and such. And I'm just sitting there, like, with my hand to my chin, just thinking about what just happened, you know? And slowly but surely, people start to wake up, and they see me. And they're just like, JC, what are you doing? What's up? And I'm like, I don't know, bro. You know, I was just, I don't know how I got here. Or something like that. I never told them any of this. Never told anyone this, like, the full story of what happened. Because I was like, I don't know what to say. You know, I was in this, and you know what's the scariest part of this, Rack? You know what the scariest part about this? I was right in the same position as, or like 2 steps away where I heard the noise.
What? Dude,
I don't like it. I never went back. Never went back. I was like, fuck that. Like, I think it was karma for telling the scary stories when everyone was freaked out by the guy banging on the door at like 10 p.m. But, you know, fuck me, dude. It was not fun. But you know what made my day afterwards is that after we were done, the mom of the person that invited us, she got us everything bagels. So I quickly forgot about the whole ordeal until now. So, yeah.
Sorry to resurface your traumas, buddy.
It's fine. But isn't that fucked? Isn't that like, I don't like it, bro. I don't like. Fuck,
so,
dude.
Yeah, the first thing I do when I hear that is I look for the rational explanation. The first thing I can think of is either sleepwalking or waking up in the middle of the night and walking over to the chair, sitting down, and like not remembering it. But, you know, the chances of that are pretty unlikely. I mean, I usually remember when I wake up in the middle of the night. Like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck would explain that, but it's like some kind of a sign, maybe. If it was some kind of a supernatural thing where like they like possessed your body and made you sit there, it's like a sign that perhaps you are the priest, or like you are the one. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about.
No, you're just trying to give rhyme and reason to what happened. Honestly, to this day, I don't think about it. I don't want to think about it. It's whatever. It happened, and I don't want to, you know, looking into it. I don't want to find more answers to it. You know what I mean? because it's done, and I'm in a different area now. Like, I don't know. It's just like you have no idea the confusion and like the panic that's bubbled up when I woke up in there. I felt a little bit more safe because it was daytime and like I heard people rustling a little bit in the other rooms. But how the fuck did I get there? And then I realized like 2 minutes afterwards, I looked to the left and that's the spot where I heard that noise on the right near the like the cabinets and such for like the I don't know, dude. It was something else. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't see a ghost. I just felt really like this is bad energy, dude. Like, you need to get out immediately.
Like some twisted soul trying to fuck with you for its own entertainment.
I don't know, dude. It was something else. So that's my story. There's I think one more, but I'm not going to get into that. That's a long one.
I got a question for you.
Okay, go for it.
Do you think that we become ghosts when we die?
I think that if there's a lot of avenues this could go down. There's different reasons I think that why someone would stay as a spirit on Earth. If they have like, I heard like the most logical thing was like if they have unfinished business to attend to.
Yeah. Although that almost seems like arbitrary and not like that would be a weird criteria. Unfinished business, what does that entail? That sounds like not set in stone at all.
Perhaps you were not ready. You were not, like, it was not your time yet. You know what I mean? Like, you have to spend some more time
but who's
there.
to judge?
Well, that goes into the realm of gods and religion and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Because that goes tie into that topic very, very, very much. I don't know. There's many variations in why ghosts would be on planet Earth, or like what happens after you die in terms of like, ghosts and such, where you would end up. Some people think like, hey, like in order to become an angel, you have to do some service on Earth. You know what I mean, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a whole slew of things. Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea.
At that point, you're getting into the realm of like religious belief, but I don't know. I think the afterlife is something really interesting to consider, regardless of like religious bias. Like regardless of what you believe in. Nobody really knows what happens when you die. And we do have some accounts that are close that we can like look at for evidence as to what the truth could be, such as like people that have died and then been resuscitated and have said that they've seen like God or heaven or whatever, Yeah. And it's really hard to say how much truth that holds and how much of that is just they're seeing what they want to see, or I don't know. It's a lot to tackle. I feel like we could maybe get into that in a later episode if you wanted to, because that is really fascinating on its own.
I would love to talk about the afterlife. I think that we have a lot to offer that topic. And I also believe that it's important to talk about it as is not like a religious stance, but as a stance of where after and what holds the future of us after our bodies are gone. You know what I mean? Because there's many avenues of which it could go down, but it doesn't hurt to have some thinking that goes through it.
There is a lot more beyond the material and physical world that we don't think about. I mean, just look at just look at ghosts. Just look at the supernatural. Look at all the shit that can't be explained. Look at the realm of psychedelics. Look at the human mind beyond the physical world. Like, there is so much that we don't know that, it can be convoluting to think of, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still pissed off that I was not invited to that Chinese New Year fucking... I was throwing shit. You can't even...
I'm still pissed off they tried to give me pizza Cheez-Its. Who the fuck do they think they are?
Well, I think this is a good stop. We talked about a lot of stuff, ranging from a lot of themes, if you will.
Yeah. Hey, I have to say, before we end the podcast, those of you that are listening to this right now that are like shitting yourselves, I just want to say, pretend. Yeah, boo! Did I scare you, bitch? Gotcha. No.
Takes the pizza Cheez-Its out of your hand as you're scared.
Yeah, if you are in the darkness and you're listening to this and you're a little bit unnerved after hearing all these ghost stories and You're not sure how you're going to sleep after the podcast ends and you're thrust into darkness. Just know that whatever sinister powers may be, there is just as much good in the world fighting back, and you have nothing to fear. So don't let anything infiltrate your nightmares and make you have a bad time, all right? You will sleep like a baby. And pretend I just gave you the biggest hug you've ever gotten in your fucking life, and you sleep like a goddamn angel, all right? That's all I got to say. I rest my case.
Don't look behind you.